makes an efficient manufacturing supervisor, and how efficient are you? I'm Greg Schinkel, President of Unique Training and Development and Frontline Leadership Systems, and today in Leader Feeder we need to look at efficiency, but not necessarily production efficiency on the floor, but your efficiency as a frontline leader. What is it that makes an efficient manufacturing supervisor? Well, I think the myth that we have is that a supervisor is most efficient when they multitask and they're constantly switching from one task to another in constant reaction mode. And I think that's probably not necessarily the case. The fact is, the most efficient manufacturing supervisors are going to be ones that have a game plan for their day and tend to chunk tasks so that they can execute both effectively and efficiently. I remember a supervisor in a class was talking about the fact that he thought his planful nature actually hurt his efficiency. And another participant in the class said that they thought that their scattered reactionary approach was actually more efficient. Well, after a lot of discussion, what we determined is that generally the consensus was that we needed to have some sort of game plan in a day and also make time for the fact that there will be inevitable interruptions and distractions. So I've got a few tips for you on how you can become a more efficient manufacturing supervisor. Tip number 1 is to plan your day in chunks. There are some activities as a supervisor that are better done at the beginning of a shift or at the end of the shift, and others that can be kind of scattered in the middle of your shift. And if you chunk your time that way, you can ensure that the right activities are allocated to the best time of day to ensure those are completed. Tip number 2 is to identify the top priority for the day, or maybe up to 3 priorities for the day. Now you might say, why only 1 or 3? It's because many days will have lots of distractions and interruptions, and you might be lucky to achieve one important priority. So it's important to go into your day knowing, here's the one thing I want to get done. Now, if you have a little bit more confidence that you're going to get beyond that number 1 priority, maybe expand your list to the 2 or 3 biggest priorities for the day. At least then, if you have a day that gets away from you, you can still say that you achieved your number 1, number 2, and number 3 priorities for the day. Tip number 3 is to stay flexible. Now, when I say stay flexible, if you sort of take my advice and immediately try to plan every minute of your day, it's unrealistic. I mean, I ask supervisors, how much of your day do you have under your own control and how much of your day is spent reacting to things that are happening, whether it's people not showing up for work or machines having downtime or having a shortage of materials? And the answer, of course, will depend, but many supervisors will say that, they have to keep a third to a half of their day for the unexpected. And say, okay, if that's the case, then stay flexible and only plan for a third to half of your day being under your control, and recognize that the rest is going to be in reaction mode. By taking these 3 tips, you can increase your efficiency as a manufacturing supervisor, and then you're going to want to work on some of your other leadership attributes, and of course, that's where we come into play. Whether we come into your organization and train groups of people together or have enrollments in our public workshop, whether we're going on site to deliver in person or you're using our state-of-the-art virtual training studio, we have the tools that will make you a more successful leader. And launching is our Frontline Leadership on Demand program that you can take at your own pace, especially good if there's 1 or 2 people that need to increase their leadership skills. You can find all the information that you need on our website at uniquedevelopment.com, and like most of our client relationships, it all starts with a conversation. So I look forward to connecting with you to see how we can support your organization in achieving leadership excellence.